Yay, I made it. I didn't think I would. But miracles never cease. Sorry about the crazy lighting in here, but this is the best I could do today. Because for some reason my lamp isn't working, and I don't know that I even have another lamp in the house. That's probably one of the biggest things that I need in this house is more lamps. We don't have bedside lamps, we don't have bedroom lamps, we just have the ceiling light, fan light, you know? And there's just not a lot of other lights in this house. So this is the best I could do for lighting. And it's better than in the dark, which would have been if I'd have gotten my standard office spot. So, not there. It's a lot better. Well, if you don't know me, my name is Michelle. I'm a mom of 12 amazing kids, and I have number 13 on the way. She'll be here next month sometime towards the end. So we're pretty excited about that. Sure, she was a surprise. We weren't planning on having another baby because we didn't think we could make any more babies, but I lost a few pounds, and amazingly, the miracle occurred after 6 years of infertility. Go figure. I mean, of course, there was diet changes. I stopped eating sugar and bread for the most part, but definitely it was a miracle regardless, because it's a miracle if I quit eating sugar, a miracle if I quit eating bread. So I consider it definitely a miracle. Sorry about the doorknob in the view. This was literally the only place I could figure out. I mean, I could have let you see my closet the whole time, but it's a little distracting, so I thought maybe this would do. But today was the absolute perfect day, and I can't wait to tell you about it. And, you know, it started out that we slept in. No alarms, no where we had to be. We just slept in until we woke up naturally. And the kids slept in even later than us, so it was awesome. And then we had a little breakfast, and we just tidied up the kitchen after that. Everybody did their chores. I was working on that laundry from the garage. I actually accomplished 5 extra loads of laundry this week. I only do 3 loads. Hi, Ressa. Thanks for coming. It's good to see you. But yeah, so I normally do only 3 loads of laundry a day, and I only do them 4 days a week. And then I have the other 3 days a week, well, 2 days a week, because I don't let them wash on Sunday, for the older kids to do their laundry, because the weekends work better for them, and I don't like washing laundry on the weekend. So I was able to throw in 3 today, because they weren't washing clothes anyway, and I got the 2 done, the 2 extras done yesterday, and 1 the day before, and it just felt really good to get all of that laundry done. And I definitely had some stuff that belonged to the twins in there, because, you know, my husband will go somewhere or camping or overnight or whatever, and he'll fill up the car with, the kids will take their clothes off or take them out of the bag, and he doesn't keep track of it like I do. So clothes were just missing. I'm like, I have invested so much money to make sure these kids had this many pairs of pants, this many shirts, and we don't have them anymore. What are you doing with the clothes? Like, is there a monster eating them? They'd have matching shirts, and now they don't. So there's only 1 of the 2 of the set. But we found several of the missing items in the garage. Go figure, of all places. I assume the other pieces that are missing are probably in their big brother's rooms, where they also, you know, little kids, they just take their clothes off all the time, and they just never put them where they're supposed to. I mean, I really make an effort to make sure they get their dirty clothes in the laundry basket, but it doesn't always happen that way. It's how life is. So after sleeping in and having breakfast and getting that laundry rotated and keep working on that, then the kids got ready for the day, and they did their chores, and the house was looking good. Everything was just picked up and put, I mean, it's not perfectly clean, but everything's picked up and put away kind of where it belongs, and it just feels good when you walk through and there's not a lot of clutter everywhere. And then after tidying the kitchen, I was like, I did some other things in the kitchen, just like we'd bought some bulk cereal, and I poured those inside the containers I hold the cereal in. You know, just helping kids, having my own breakfast, just doing, because I don't always eat what the kids eat, made my special drink and things like that. Hey, good, I just started. Don't weather, Heather, you haven't missed a lot. Just kind of giving a rundown of what I've done today. And I just, I just spent a little more time downstairs, folded that a new big old batch of laundry I had, kind of sorted it, just what was the twins, what wasn't, and threw out the stuff that wasn't the twins for the kids to go through. And kind of that's becoming a little bit of a mess, but whatever. I'm just glad that we've got that out of the garage, and it's kind of where it belongs. And then we had our family, then I took a nap. I was so tired. I don't know what happened. I slept in. I should have been just fine, but I was exhausted. I think because I stayed up so late last night making that video. I'll have to post that below. I tried to do this thing where I just take the camera with me pretty much throughout the day and try to give you a running total of everything that happens. And it takes a long time to edit out the stuff you don't want, and then you get, because I had over an hour's worth of footage, and you have to cram it down into 15 minutes, so you have to erase all the blah blah blah, and you have to really just focus on what do I want to show, and I'm not very good at that. So I got it down to 15 minutes exactly, but by midnight doing it, I'm like bobbing off to sleep. So it took me till 12:45 to actually finish it, because I kept falling asleep as I'm watching one more clip over and over and over. What else can I cut out of this clip? It was so bad. But I was up and I slept. I had that great nap, and that really just, I felt good after that. And then my husband told me that he got a call back for 8 o'clock tonight till 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, which is like, kind of crazy, but it'll be all right. Well, we still had time to do family fun days. So about 2:30 we took off, and we went to this place that my husband had kind of been eyeing down, and he'd kind of been up the road. And so he wanted to take us up there so the kids could explore the caves, and we get a little bit of a hike in. And he wanted to bring his little guns, for the kids to shoot. They're just small handheld guns. And I just was like, do I really have to go? Because I let him pick Family Fun Day today. I was really having a hard time deciding to go, but I went, and yeah, we were just driving, and I was like, look, you never said we were going off-roading for this trip. When I'm pregnant, I can't do this, because all it does is shake my belly from side to side, up and down, and then you just get constant contractions, and it becomes painful, and it's like, really? Thanks a lot. You can only hold on and control so much with that arm holder thing at the top. Jeez. It was ridiculous. But then he took this one, and I could tell it was going to be a doozy. I was like, whoa. And so he was going to be helpful and take it slow. And he went and totally planted the car in this wash, and it got stuck. The whole back end was like up on top, and the back wheels wouldn't even, they just kept spinning. The front wheels were down. He couldn't get the car to go into four-wheel drive. I did. But the tires wouldn't make it go, and then you couldn't kick it into four-wheel drive. I guess some part is broken or whatever, and so he couldn't kick it into four-wheel drive. And then in the middle of it, my daughter has to go potty, and I'm like, I have to go potty too. I'm like, and of all places, you broke down here where there's nowhere I can hide and go potty to have some decency. There's a highway running on this side of us, and then there's just, small cactuses on this other side of us. You have to go quite a ways to get where you can be hidden, and there's just nowhere to go potty. And I was just like, I'll just wait. And it was so funny. So, I said, well, I'll get out of the car and make sure, because my husband said, well, you don't have to get out of the car. Everybody else does, but you don't have to. So, well, I got to make sure the kids stay away from the car. So I walked and had all the kids go on the other side of the car, and I had them all, just kind of stay clear of what Dad was doing with the boys. And so they started showing me rocks, and I was talking to them about conglomerate rocks and sandstone and gemstone, just all the different kinds of things they were finding. And it was really great. Well, they had to take a pull and dig out underneath the car in the back. And my one son thought to burrow a hole, and so it collapsed a lot of the other dirt, and then you could just see the back end of the car going down. And I just was so excited. Then we went and we did the shooting thing, and we drove. The road was a little better going up the other road, and I just was so excited that we were having such a good time. Then we went back home, and we were excited because we were making homemade hamburgers. We do that quite often. And yeah, yeah, we've done that many times, but these kids haven't had the rock lesson, so it was kind of fun. But it was kind of funny because we came home and we had hamburgers, and my husband, he really had to go. Um, but it was kind of crazy because my husband had to leave at 7. We were starting dinner at 6. But he came in the kitchen and he was like, if you want, I'll put all your seasonings in and I'll mix the hamburger up really quick so you don't have to. So I did, and he was really nice to do that. And then he's like, here, I'll patty them up for you too if you just get me the cutting board. Bam, I grabbed the cutting board because I'm not going to turn down good help. And then we have a little bit always left over that we season just right for other meals. But he went ahead and made meatballs and put those in a cookie sheet so that we could have those tomorrow night with spaghetti. And so I just was so grateful that he was willing to help. He barely got to hurry and eat before he had to take off to go to work, because you got to be there a little early, and plus you got to drive clear across town, yada, yada, yada. Well, it was just so great. We all just could feel so much love and so much happiness. My kids were talking about it. Everybody had a really good time. And just thinking about how bad of a situation we could have made that and how we could have looked at that all negative. I was so proud of myself for not giving him a hard time, not making things worse. I just stayed positive. That's really something I try to do. I just try to stay positive and just look at the bright side. And so instead of focusing on the fact that the car was stuck, which I can't do anything about. What am I going to do? Go push on it? Am I going to help dig it out? No. I mean, all they had was a crowbar. They didn't even have a shovel. So they're just using like these random tools. They're looking for parts of tools, trying to dig out. And I just was like, I'll just keep the kids entertained and just talk about rocks. And they had their little pockets filled on their jacket and their pockets of their pants filled up. And they're showing me all their special zebra rocks and their miscellaneous rocks. And I'm talking to them about how it's packed together. All the different rocks get packed together after time, and it's what makes them like that. And it just felt good. And my boys, they would kind of joke because it's notorious for my husband, when we'll go on an adventure with him, like me, we have a plan. We're going to this place and we're doing this, and this is how long it's going to take. And I know generally about how long we can last on something like that. But with my husband, you never know, because you might think you're going hiking, but you had no idea where. So we always call it adventure when we go with Dad. It's an adventure because you're going to have something crazy happen. You just know it. And it's not, and it's more than once that he's broke down or got us stuck in a situation that we couldn't exactly get out of. So it was kind of crazy. Yeah, and it's good because then everybody has a positive attitude, Heather. It's really great. And that's what my point kind of is that the mama sets the tone. And my son and I would wink at each other every now and then because we know it's getting a little cold. It's getting a little darker outside, and we don't want to be stuck out here all day. We called my son and my one that was still in town, my married son, and asked him, hey, could you be on standby in case we can't get out of here? He's like, yeah, just give me a call if you guys get out, and I'll wrap things up and get on my way out there. But we were able to call him and tell him he didn't need to worry about it. But it just felt so good to know that we didn't make a bad situation worse by our bad attitudes. And it wasn't like it was a bad situation. It was just kind of a predicament, just like an unsuspected, but it still ended up so fun for the little kids. They didn't even care. And the big kids got to work out. And my husband pointed out how much he liked that everybody worked together as a team to get the car out. The 4 oldest, let's see, so my husband, my 2 teenagers, and one of my tweens. And it just is so good to see them working as a team together, trying to figure out ideas to help get this down off that hill that they were stuck on. And I just think that that's so it's just so great when when the family works together and comes together like that, right? Um, but now all the, you know, the kids are downstairs. We've had dinner. We've tidied up from dinner. My son's getting ready to start the dishwasher. The kids are watching a movie. A lot of times I don't mention when we throw in a movie. Like yesterday, I videoed everything, but I didn't videotape the time when we were watching a movie before my husband and I, after we finished school, we had free time and the kids voted they wanted to watch a movie and I didn't care. So we just sat and watched a movie, one we'd never seen before. I can't even remember what it was called. And it was just good to do something different than we normally do. And I don't always talk about when we watch a movie because it's just, you know, kind of boring. But it feels good. Yeah, the bonding time was good. They will, yeah, they always remember. They do remember, and they do remember the positivity. And we talked about it in the kitchen as, you know, as my husband had left. We were just talking about how grateful we were for his help to make the hamburgers, and so it just made it easier for us just to cook them. And because I cooked them on a pan in the house instead of outside on the grills because it's a little cold today, and it just feels so good. And even though our lives aren't perfect and our house isn't perfect, it was a perfect day because of our attitude. And you know, Fly Lady Cat was talking about perfection and that she had watched a video from Kimmy and Her Apron, and I've been watching Mel Robbins, who's been talking all about letting go of perfection and not getting caught up in that. And I've been thinking about it a lot for the last few weeks because of Mel Robbins, so it was kind of poignant that Kimmy and Her Apron has been talking about it, as well as Fly Lady Cat, because I've had to change my mind on the idea of perfection. Like, there's no such thing as perfect, because even when it's as good as you've got it, it's still not good enough a lot of times. Maybe if you have millions of dollars, it's perfect, but to me, perfect is a state of mind. Perfect is the way that you feel about something. And when it's perfectly imperfect, that's when I'm happiest, because I realize it's not a perfect everything, but the way we're handling it is perfect. The way we're talking to each other is perfect. The way we're helping each other out is perfect. The way we're loving each other is perfect. And what's more beautiful than that? Yeah, progress, not perfection is my motto. And also, you can't be mad at yourself now for what you didn't know then. Those are good little sayings that actually I've learned from some 12-step groups. They talk about those little quick sayings, you know, live and let go and let God. It's progress, not perfection. You can't beat yourself up now for what you didn't know then. Did I already say let go and let God? But they have a lot of those, and they just really help you when you're in a time of need. So it's pretty cool. But now all I have left is to shower and maybe soak in an Epsom salt bath and just relax, maybe listen to some more of the books I have on Audible, and just take it easy the rest of the night. And I'm really excited about that. We have church at 8:30 in the morning. So yeah, that's what I do about a lot of things. When I can't control people, places, and things, Heather, that's what I say. Let go and let God take care of it. Because sometimes it's bigger than me and it's more that I can handle. And I do just need to let go and quit trying to hold on to it and try to fix it all myself, and just let the Almighty take care of it. Let Him handle it, because He's better at this than I am. He's been doing it a lot longer than I am. And you know, that was something that I was going to say for a different day, but I'll share it now anyways, and just repeat it again when it comes up. That you know, a lot of times with my husband, yeah, a lot of times when my husband and I have been at odds with each other, I would always say, you know, I would just pray, and I would be like, he was yours before he was mine. Tell me what I need to do to fix this. Or, this is bigger than me and I don't know how to fix this. So maybe if you could help him or me or whatever needs to happen here, if you could do that to help make this work, then I'm open to it. And every time, he never let me down. One of us would apologize or say the right thing or do the right thing. And it was just really beautiful to just realize and recognize that I'm not capable. I don't have the skill set at that time or the education at that time to actually help the situation. But I can pray and I can ask God to take care of it. And he always did. He never let me down. That's why we're still together after 29 years, honestly, is from prayers like that. So, well, that's what I wanted to tell you. I was so excited to tell you. I'm so glad you were here to hear this story. If you have any more questions, you can put them. If you have a comment, you can leave it. You can leave one right there, and I will read it right now. There are times when I have to say, Jesus, just take the wheel, right? Didn't you love when Carrie came out with that song? Oh my gosh, I think about that all the time. You know, when we're the ones wanting to drive, we have to be in control of the wheel, and we need to just move over in the passenger seat and let God drive. So much better when you can look at it like that. It's so much more helpful. Definitely. And sometimes it just makes your life go so much better when you just realize who's really in control of it and that you're not in control of it like you think you are. You know, just things change and you never know. So it's awesome. But when I think about being perfect or wanting to be perfect or that I'm even capable of being perfect, I realize kind of what a joke that is, that there is no perfect. We're all a work in progress and we all can grow. So how can we be perfect? That means that we don't need to grow anymore. And that's just not the case for anyone. Everybody needs to grow and change and be better and do better. And I think that's kind of important. So yeah, that's where I'm at today. I'm feeling so grateful to be in the situation I'm in. You know, speaking of 12-step groups, I don't think my husband would mind if I told you, since it was on public television, that tomorrow is his birthday with Alcoholics Anonymous, and he will have had 30 years sober. And I am just, wait, is it 30? I might be wrong. It might be 28 years, but we need to stop trying to control it all, and we need to hand it over to the King of all the universe. Amen, Heather. That is the truth. But he's got like 20 some odd, you know, in the late 20s, how many years sober he is, and he gets a chip tomorrow. And it's kind of a big deal for him. You know, it's just kind of a big deal because we didn't think that was ever going to change. And I thought he was a great guy back then, and he's even better now. So all of us get to grow and change and become more and be more and do more as we're capable. You know, right now I can only do so much. There's only so much of me to go around. There's only so many hours in a day. There's only so much time. Now I do look at people like the president or leaders of church organizations or certain presidents over this or that or the other, but I realize we all have the same amount of hours, but just it's what you do in those hours that makes it count. And I'm happy with what we're doing with our hours. Maybe they're not as productive as some people think they should be. Maybe we're not doing as much as some people think we should be doing, but for me, at 8 months pregnant, I'm doing plenty. And the goal I have for just trying to get my house in order, I think is the most important thing right now. Just that I can offer my kids a house that's simple and comfortable. So that's where I'm at. You're so sweet, Heather. You always say the nicest things. You all do. I just really appreciate the supportiveness, because as moms, oh my gosh, let alone women, we are so hard on ourselves. We are our own worst critics, you know? And then when other people point it out, it's just like, you aren't really trying to help me, are you? Because it's hard. And sometimes that's just more difficult, but whatever, you know, we all are just trying to do our best. And I think our best should be good enough. And if it's not, then just do a little better. Big deal, you know? The routines save me, and taking care of my zones makes things better. You know, I haven't always been a mess head. Oh, Oh, I'm so glad. Don't be hard on yourself. It's like someone had said about me today that, you know, I haven't always been this clean, but really I always have tried to keep things picked up. We've always been good about vacuuming and mopping and doing the dishes. I mean, for years I never used like any paper products. I washed everything by hand, and I just, like, in this last year or so, have really let up on the perfection to myself and taken that weight off of my shoulders so that I could just accept myself and love myself where I am and just push forward from where I'm at and not give up, just be willing to keep moving forward. And, even though when things were hard, I've had that for a couple of years where I was just seriously determined, for a couple of years, just saying, you know what, this isn't easy, this is difficult, but I am not going to give up because I am determined to figure this out. I am determined to accomplish these goals. I am determined to make myself better and learn more and be more so I can, learn more and do more so I can be more. And that's what I keep finding out is the more I read and the more I learn, the better at a lot of things that I am. And I just am calming down in my spirit. Yeah. And it just feels good just kind of calming down on my spirit, and one thing I used to hear a lot was that as parents, a lot of times that we expect perfection from our kids and we are impatient with our children. We keep praying for patience, but patience is a gift. We should pray for tolerance because it's easier when you just tolerate the things of your children and be like, oh yeah, they're children. Of course they're going to do that. Oh yeah, they're not fully mature yet. They don't get this yet. And instead of expecting them to be up on our level, realizing the level that they are on and just laugh at those cute little silly things that they do and just not, that's right. And just when we talk to our kids, if we just treat them like their children and that they are wonderful gifts from God, then they will do so much better. And it's helped me be one of the most patient people I know. My kids will tell you they can't believe I don't react. They can't believe because they've seen their friends' parents react about things. And I just don't. I just kind of let it just go. It takes a long time. Like, I don't even have a fuse that really runs out. I just am like, whatever, I give up. It's like talking to a brick wall. You know what I'm saying? It's just really important to be more tolerant of children and the messes they make and the trouble they cause and the dirty diapers they fill and the baths they have to take, all those things that just come with kids, the extra laundry you have to do, the extra problems that come up because of them, and just realizing how dependent they are on us and that we need to be more tolerant of them and their, yes. I try to praise my kids more because they do better. Exactly. Like, think about it. If someone's constantly harping on you and telling you what a crappy job you are and why are you not doing this and this better and this right, how much are you going to do better? You're just going to want to cry and roll in a ball. You're not going to want to do anything. You're not going to want to prove them wrong. You're just going to be like, what the heck? But when someone's constantly saying nice things and positive things and encouraging you, it's so helpful just to have those positive reinforcements for us and for kids. You think about it. Someone says nice things, you want to do nothing but make them happy and try to do things better because of them. And it's just really amazing. So that's where my head is today. That's the things I'm thinking about, is these things I've worked on for years to get me to where I am. And even though I may look like I have a long ways to go to you, if you only knew where I started and how far I've come, you'd be amazed. And think about your life, like where you started and what you grew up with and how far you've come. How much different are you than the mother you had and the family that you have? How much more has yours changed? How much more influence have you had, and how many things have you done different? We really should just pat ourselves on the back because we are doing the honest effort, and I think that that's more noteworthy than anything because we have worked so hard to get where we are, and it's okay. We just need to be kind to ourselves and just realize, yeah, I messed up, big deal. I've got tomorrow. I could try again tomorrow. I could try again a different day. I don't have to demand of myself perfection because that's not going to be good for me or anyone. From the little things I have got, oh, yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. That's one reason I like doing this. We got to do our best and allow God's grace. Amen, Risa. We definitely need God's grace everywhere, right? And that's what's so great about doing this channel for me, because I've seen just the growth I've had in just the last year. Then I'm able to look back even further being like, oh, that's different about me. I didn't used to be like that, or I'm more tolerant of this, or more patient with that, or more understanding with this, or more accepting of that. And I think that that's just really what maturity does for you, what growth allows for you, and what God's grace gives to us. It just allows that peace in your life, and I feel so much peace, so much joy, so much happiness. And I have 12 kids. And I have a daughter-in-law and a son-in-law. And I have 4 grandkids. And I have 9 boys and 3 girls. And I have a baby due in a month and a half. And she might even have Down syndrome. And I don't care. I feel so at peace about all of it. Even with all the stuff that happens and comes up, I just take it in stride, one day at a time. I try to plan a little bit out, but I just don't have a lot of negative expectations. I just think, I can't wait for something good to happen today. And there's good things that happen all day, every day, and it's so awesome. Yes, I love that saying, Heather. It is well with my soul. And I think that is a wonderful place to close our discussion today, because I have so much peace. And you know, just thinking about my husband and his accomplishment and where he's going to be tomorrow, I just can't help but think of the Serenity Prayer and how many times I have called upon that prayer to bring me comfort. You know, just God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And boy, will God show you the difference if you don't know. So with that, I want to say good night to you. I hope that you have a lovely evening. Hope that you have a blessed, wonderful Sunday. You're welcome, Heather. That's what I'm here for. I really do just hope that I'm able to reach out and help you mamas and aunties and grandmas just to realize that we are here and we can make a difference, and just look for the ways that we can make a difference, and to just not take ourselves so seriously, to not be so hard on ourselves, because I've done that for so long. It's not worth it. And I feel so much better since I stopped demanding perfection of myself. Now I just, let's do the list. And if we get it done, great. And if we don't, we'll move it on to the next day, and it's okay. It all works out. And somehow it all gets done, and it's just really awesome. So I hope that you have a great evening. You have a blessed night too, especially you, Heather, and everybody who's listening. You know, please, if you get a second, go ahead and like this video. It's very helpful to find it more, and to, if you want, you can share it. You could subscribe if you want to see more, and then you'll be notified when I'm on. I really try to do every single day. Once in a while, like last night, I had that late night, but I just really put out there the best I can. So I hope that you have a good night. Know that I love you. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. Good luck, Charlie. I look forward to seeing you again.